Hello there. Today I'm gonna talk about scientific notation of the rational number. As we know from the previous, if we have 10, it also equals 10 power 1 because 10 is repeated one time. But if we have 100, it also equals 10 times 10. 10 is repeated two times in multiplication, so it can be 10 power 2. But if we have 1000, it also equals 10 times 10 times 10. 10 is repeated three times in multiplication, so it can be 10 power 3. And we also know that if we have 0.1, it also equals 1 over 10. We put 10 in the denominator because we have only one digit after the decimal point. And we know from the previous lesson that we can change the sign of the power by flip the fraction, so it can be 10 power negative 1. And also if we have 0.01, it can be 1 over 100 or 1 over 10 power 2. And we can flip the fraction and change the sign of the power, so it can be 10 power negative 2. If we have 0.001, it can be 1 over 1000 or 1 over 10 power 3, and flip equals 10 power negative 3, and so on. And now we will learn how to put the number in the standard form. The number is written in the standard form as a times 10 power n, where the absolute value of a more than or equal 1 and less than 10, and the power of 10 must be an integer. For example, 4.6 times 10 power 8. This number in the standard form because the absolute value of 4.6 lies between 1 and 10. And the power of the 10 is an integer. 8 belongs to z, so this number is in the standard form. Another example, 5.623 times 10 power negative 6. This number also in the standard form because the absolute value of 5.623 lies between 1 and 10, and the power of 10 here negative 6, and negative 6 is an integer. So this number is in the standard form. Example, put each of the following numbers in the standard form. This number can be written in the standard form when I move the decimal point till to reach to a number lies between 1 and 10. And the number of decimal places, I'm gonna make it as a power of 10. So I will move the point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 places. The point between 8 and 2, because 8.2 located between 1 and 10. Here I moved the decimal point 9 places to the left, so I will multiply by 10 power positive 9. But when I move to the right, I'm gonna make the sign of the power negative. So the result will be 8.2 times 10 power positive 9. Another example, we can also make this number in the standard form, but we need to move the decimal point till to reach to a number lies between 1 and 10. So we need to move the decimal point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places. The point must be between 1 and 3, because 1.35 located between 1 and 10. Here I moved the decimal point 7 places to the right, so we need to multiply by 10 power negative 7, and the result will be 1.35 times 10 power negative 7. Remarks. Here we can see that the number 32.4 times 10 power 5 is not in the standard form because 32.4 more than 10, and to write it in the standard form we have to move the decimal point one place to the left and then multiply by 10 power positive 1. So 32.4 times 10 power 5 equals 3.24 times 10 and then times 10 power 5. Here we have two numbers having the same base, put the same base and add the two powers, so it can be 3.24 times 10 power 6. And also here we can see that the number 0.032 times 10 power negative 4 also is not in the standard form because 0.032 less than 1. And to write it in the standard form, we have to move the decimal point 2 places to the right and then multiply by 10 power negative 2. So 0.032 times 10 power negative 4 equals 3.2 times 10 power negative 2 times 10 power negative 4. And also here we have two numbers having the same base, put the same base and add the two powers, so it can be 3.2 times 10 power negative 6. Notice that the standard form of the number 1 is 1 times 10 power 0, because 10 power 0 also equals 1. Also the number 2 is 2 times 10 power 0 and so on. Write each of the following in the standard form. 45 times 10 power 8 is not in the standard form because 45 is not located between 1 and 10. So we have to move the decimal point after one digit. We have to move the decimal point one place to the left and then multiply by 10 power positive 1. So it can be 4.5 times 10 and times 10 power 8. And the final result can be 4.5 times 10 power 9. And also here we have a number is not in the standard form because 706.4 more than 10. So we have to move the decimal point 2 places to the left and multiply by 10 power positive 2. So it can be 7.064 times 10 power 2 times 10 power 5, and the final result can be 7.064 times 10 power 7. And also here we have a number is not in the standard form because 0.248 less than 1. So we have to move the decimal point one place to the right and multiply by 10 power negative 1. So it can be 2.48 times 10 power negative 1 times 10 power negative 6 and negative 7. So the final result can be 2.48 times 10 power negative 8. And also here we have a number is not in the standard form because the absolute value of 0.0015 less than 1. So we have to move the decimal point 3 places to the right and then multiply by 10 power negative 3. So it can be negative 1.5 times 10 power negative 3 times 10 power negative 9. And the final result can be negative 1.5 times 10 power negative 12. Another example. Here we need to multiply 1.2 times 10 power 5 by 4 times 10 power 3. We can use the properties of multiplication to solve this problem. So at the first we can multiply 1.2 times 4 and then multiply 10 power 5 by 10 power 3. 1.2 times 4 equals 4.8, and 10 power 5 times 10 power 3 having the same base, put the same base and add the two powers, so it can be 10 power 8. Another example, 2.4 times 10 power 11, we need to divide it by 1.2 times 10 power negative 4. We can also at the first divide 2.4 by 1.2 and then divide 10 power 11 by 10 power negative 4. 2.4 divided 1.2 equals 2. And 10 power 11 divide 10 power negative 4 having the same base, put the same base and subtract the two powers, so it can be 10 power 15. Here we need to add 2.3 times 10 power 6 and 3.7 times 10 power 5. In this case, we have to factorize by taking the highest common factor. We can factorize 10 power 6 into 10 and 10 power 5. So 10 power 5 is repeated in the two terms, so we can take it as a common factor. And the remainder is gonna be 2.3 times 10 plus 3.7. And then we can multiply 2.3 times 10 to be 23. So it can be 10 power 5 times 26.7. But this number is not in the simplest form. So we have to move the decimal point one place to the left and then multiply by 10 power positive 1. So the result will be 2.67 times 10 power 6.